Hey guys, welcome back to a new episode of Hello Crypto, where we talk about anything that happens in crypto. And there is a lot of stuff moving, guys, and it's been a while since we've made a video, and we fully understand that. We're sorry for that. But of course, the world hasn't been in like a silent mode or something like that. You guys know that I live in Dubai, in the Middle East, with all the ongoing tensions. And a lot of stuff has happened, and we should talk about that, and we should also talk about what is next in the market. I want to talk about what is happening in the Middle East. I want to talk about what we see in the ETH and the BTC charts. I want to show you guys what we're doing with DeFi yields on Hello Trade and other platforms. And I think there is more enough to discuss. So let's dive right in and start looking at, okay, our latest video that we put out was about like more than a week ago. We talked about how you can make like 1% gain per day with DeFi. And you know that within Hello Labs, we've built this awesome DeFi platform, trading platform, DEX platform, where the fees are being split between the people putting in the LP and the project owners. So there's a big upside for all the owners and all the people that are potentially looking to launch their project. And this video actually did really well, a lot of feedback, a lot of good feedback. But right after we produced this video, of course, this hit, Middle East and crisis, a war basically between the US, Israel, and Iran. And what you definitely saw was about 2 weeks ago, Saturday and Sundays, it was raining missiles, but the air defenses of the UAE were taking out all the missiles, except for a couple of ones, and those hit the news. But it was definitely unsettling, and it was definitely something else, something that you've never seen. But at the same time, the air defenses worked. And just a few people got hit by debris, and there wasn't real damage being done. So what you now see is that this war is taking us into the second week, almost at the end of the second week, and you see now that the tactics have changed from the Iranian government, basically trying to hit anything that will drive up the price of oil, closing the Strait of Hormuz, putting vessels on fire in the Gulf. Just this morning, I wake up with a big black fog just across the horizon here, basically from some of these tankers burning in the middle of the sea and just burning out, basically uncontrollable until the moment in time nothing is left. So this is definitely having an impact on anything else that is happening in the space. In the meanwhile, we've seen, for example, Bitcoin really accelerate on this news, really go up from that moment in time where these strikes hit. And you could see that this bottom here was basically induced by the tensions of war. We had this bigger relief rally that also went through this area of interest that we put in the different chats, and you could also see the pullback here whilst oil price were hiking, and now you see a nice recovery again in this demand zone here. So what we see and going on for the next couple of weeks, you really see that it broke this wedge pattern here really nicely and had this acceleration to the top. So I do see that in the next couple of days and weeks, we'll probably do a mini fake out, and I think we're going to come back down because war tensions are going to go up, oil prices are going to go up, people and the markets will start calculating this in, and prices will probably be hitting highly volatile assets just as Bitcoin and Ethereum. Ethereum has been doing the same thing. They're still trading in this nice block where we said, okay, this is probably the price will stay for a while. If history repeats, it will stay there for a bit of time. And you can definitely see it's trading through this pattern again. Of course, we are making fees on a lot of this stuff. So just to give you guys an idea, so here on Hello Trade, we have a couple of open pools in USDT. We deployed about $23,000 of liquidity. Then I'll open this position here. So you can see that we have about $20,000 in liquidity in here, and that we've accumulated at least $750 in fees over the last 4 weeks. And we already took out like a small amount. So you can see that we made almost $1,000 in a month time. That means an 8% interest. Sorry, that is wrong. That's almost a 5% interest on this capital. And we've basically been doing nothing. In the meantime, ETH has just been, paddling along in this area. So it's really easy money for us to grab. Another pool that we've opened the last couple of days is in Solana pool. You can see that here as well. So we're just making use of the tooling, and the systems are there, whilst the market is just slow. On the other side, we've also been trading a lot, and we've been closing a new partnership together with Blowfin. Blowfin is really a good exchange. They're working with us. They're making sure that all traders are safe. And yesterday we caught this very interesting trade here. We saw that there was this a triangle and wedge form pattern, and we saw, okay, well, typically when this wedge starts forming, the breakout goes up or down in the same amount of length. So if we would say, well, the wedge pattern starts creating here, then you could basically say, okay, well, will go down this low, but will go up this high, which would mean that it would touch this $74,000 range, which a lot of people have been screaming for a long time. And a lot of people are saying, okay, probably when it gets there, it will go down. But what I believe will be happening is that we will definitely start going up. And then we'll see all prices go up. We'll see more intentions. And I think after that, prices need to come down, because I don't think that we've had the full bear. This has been a thesis all along. That's also why we have these different yield forms. We have these different formats where we say, well, we'll trade between this. This has been on this chart for days and weeks maybe now. The same with this. We're actively deploying LP in these ranges because we're making a lot of money on the fees. So it's really interesting. And then maybe last but not least, because I don't want to take too much time in this video today, we'll start doing more and more updates on what we're building on the background with Hello. There's a lot of stuff moving, but just stuff that we're now getting to market and showing to you guys. One of the things that we've definitely been working a lot on the last couple of days is the Hello Moonbeam Accelerator. It's a really cool cohort, 4 different projects now building the future of gaming with the Moonbeam Accelerator, and really working on, okay, how do we attract more people? How do we bring in more enthusiasts about gaming? What type of channels do we use, and what can we learn from each other? It's a really interesting cohort, a really interesting group of games, some really interesting in terms of gameplay, some really interesting in the way they go to market. But the cool thing is we combine this with the Killer Whales with the Killer Whales television show and the Killer Whales Live. So basically what we're doing is we're signing on a lot of different KOLs. We're bringing them together with the founders. We're building a really cool campaign, and we're developing new tools together with the Moonbeam ecosystem, attaching some of the ecosystem partners there. And what these projects are striving for, then in 9 weeks' time, they'll be pitching on Killer Whales Live, and they'll be pitching to some of the real whales and some of the whales that are attached to the Hello Moonbeam Accelerator. And the cool thing about this is that everybody wins. The architecture of this accelerator is really cool. This is a slide that we produce internally and we discuss with the different projects. But basically what we do is Moonbeam and Hello Labs partnered up, signed on 4 projects in the ecosystem, attached a couple of Web3 partners that will give added value in the ecosystem, like Stella Swap, One Delta, and Minfunnel. And we've also signed on a lot of different whales that have an attachment to gaming or have a background in gaming and are able to create this content around this accelerator. And the cool thing is, within a couple of weeks, we will see the gaming campaign coming from this and a lot of content being created. Now, where does this help the Hello ecosystem? It helps the Hello ecosystem with definitely more visibility. It helps it with more networking and more contact. And it will also help the Hello ecosystem because there will be open quests for projects to appear there, attach themselves to the Hello community, and get more content out there and more support. Another thing what we'll be doing is we'll be looking to list some of these projects on the DEX, and we'll also be making sure that some of the revenue is going into buybacks of the token. So I think all in all, guys, it has been like a crazy week. It's very busy. We're working hard on the background. Everything might be visible, but we're educating, we're setting up new programs, we're working on these accelerators. The Hello brand is going to places where it's never been. We're developing a lot of stuff. And I hope within the next 1 week or 2, we can do some announcements where you guys see, wow, this is really kicking into its second gear, and we're doing some new stuff. So until then, make sure that you keep locked in on these trades. Make sure that you use our Blowfin affiliate link so we can give you these trading setups and you can easily get into these positions if you want. And also check out the Hello Pools ecosystem, the DeFi ecosystem, where you can basically deploy all kinds of tokens. You can get an insane APR, and the volume and the APR is just yours. So have a look at these. For now, thank you very much for your time, and we'll speak tomorrow.